What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to go over 4 big details that we've just learned about Starfield. This comes from the Todd Howard kind of funny interview, which I thought was really good. It's about 40 or so minutes long. Try to cut through the fluff. I mean, a lot of it's interesting, but let's get just to the meat and potatoes of the conversation. And I want to start with the building in terms of the ship building and in terms of the outpost building. So this was something that, look, you see at the Starfield Direct, and it looks incredible, and the stuff that you imagine people do with creating a spaceship, much like you've seen people do with like Tears of the Kingdom, right? It's going to be outrageous. It's going to be absolutely nuts. But they did, Todd put it in perspective a little bit, right? So basically, one of the big things he talks about with it is it's going to be actually towards the end of the game, late game. He actually, word for word, said you're not going to be like the first time you buy a ship or the first time you land on a planet. You're not going to be able to build, or it's going to be highly unlikely that you'll be able to build an entire, outpost region for yourself there. It takes a lot of resources. So that's another part of it, right? Number one, it's kind of complicated to build a ship, and to build it creatively and cleverly like we saw. That takes a lot of work, and it's not super easy, and it's supposed to not be super easy. It is easy to upgrade things. So when you look at the ship and you say, well, I want to increase the health, I want to increase the engine, to go faster. That's easy. That's an easy kind of like one button press, and you'll upgrade. You'll still need the resources, but it's an easy, upgrade. The rest of it, in terms of transforming what the ship looks like, it's pretty detailed. It's going to take some resources, a lot of resources, and he said the same thing for the outposts. The outposts take a lot of resources to build it the way that you want to build it. So again, you're not going to be able to just land and immediately go. However, remember, you can shuttle cargo and resources from outpost to outpost, kind of like trading stations. So if you build an outpost on one planet, you build an outpost on another, you can actually kind of ship resources. And he did say outposts basically become their own economy in terms of, well, if there's resources around, that outpost takes them in, you can ship them and sell them and all sorts of things. So super deep. I mean, we knew it was going to be deep based off the Direct, but this makes it sound it's even deeper. But it's also, and I get happy about it as well, I'm not creative. There's no way I'm going to be able to do it. Well, number one, they don't expect you to do it until like the end of the game. And number two, you don't really have to. It's something that you absolutely must do. Okay, number two is the romances. So he did confirm that the 4, primary companions, those are the ones that you'll be able to do romances in. Now, again, in the Direct, we know that there's kind of like the hardcore ones, and now Todd Howard said, there's like a storyline with them. There's a quest line. There's like progression there. We know there's many other companions. We know there's people that you're just going to kind of walk up to, and you can assign them to your outpost, you can assign them to your ship, things like that. You can assign them to ships you don't use to kind of like kick them out, right? Get rid of them. You can do that, but it's only the 4 primary companions in this game. Those are the 4 that have the stories, have the quest line, and that you'll be able to romance them. I think that's enough. Maybe a little bit more would I have preferred it. I mean, I guess, but I did not think we were getting like 20, 25. I think to Mass Effect, there's a couple of them that are really deep. Maybe Mass Effect is the best comparable. You got your Garrus or your Tali or your Miranda, and, there's like, or Liara, and you have really long things with them. And then you got a couple other ones like a Jack or stuff, and, you can still do it, but it's just not going to be as detailed. That's how I kind of envisioned this, and I would say it's pretty close. It's right around there. Okay, number 3 is transportation and getting from point A to point B. So it was confirmed that there's no, they say rovers, I believe, right? So like no on-wheel vehicles. It's your jetpack. That's it. You can upgrade it. You can have skills there. It's going to get powerful. Todd Howard said about how fun it is to kind of jump around and jetpack your way around. But that is the way when you're on a planet. Obviously, you have like a ship to get from point A, one planet to the other planet, right? Point B. But when you're not doing that, when you're just on a planet, you'll be able to use that, the jetpack, which is fine. It does look rather fun, to be honest with you. But we did get that confirmed. The final one, which is the biggest one and one that I wanted to, talk about the end, the big cliffhanger, is the planets. So it's been confirmed. Now he says around, so it's not like an exact number, but he said around 10% of the planets have kind of life, right? Have humanity, have people in it, all stuff like that. So what we got going there means 100, right? 100 out of 1,000 planets is going to have a population. And we've heard about how like things are procedurally generated, and like the planets kind of are. Now, they could maybe put specific things on the planet. Now, all right, let me say something. This has always been a concern. I've said it multiple times. This is a big concern of mine that, and I guess we didn't know the number, but those 900 planets, right? That you're going to go and they're just going to be these barren wastelands, and we'll really see if procedural generation works and if you can. I mean, I know they've done it in the past with terrains and stuff, right? But we'll see if it works for 900 planets. And the way Todd presented it, he's a great presenter. See, this is the opposite thing, right? The way he presented it, I kind of got sold. Now, I do have to remember that he is very good at this. He's very good at getting people excited. The way he talked about it is like an experience. There's going to be something kind of to it when you land on a planet that there's nothing there. Maybe there's resources, but there's nothing there. And you're going to say, wow, like it's part of the adventure. It's part of, wow, I'm the only person that's ever been here. This is kind of cool. Now, even something that I've said in the past, right, is you could technically make an outpost. If you find a barren wasteland planet, maybe it's got some resources, you could technically build a whole base there. You can staff it with people. And like, yeah, they'll only kind of harvest the resources. They're not going to do much, and they're not going to populate the entire planet, but you'll get something, right? Now, that's on the good side. That's on the creative side. That I'm sure some people will do it. I know people have mentioned modding, that modders will probably make those planets quite fun. On the other side of things, though, now we know you need a lot of resources. It takes a lot of work to make those outposts. So there's going to be a lot of planets that just truly have nothing. But again, you know, they've mentioned they all have something. There'll maybe be flora that you have to scan, or they'll have a rare resource that you're going to want, or, you know, they'll have something. Again, my main concern is I can see that working. I can envision myself going to these planets, but can I envision myself going to 900 of them? I can think maybe like 30, 40, 50 of them. It depends on how long, I guess, I'm giving this game of my life. Right? Am I playing this game for 30 years? I mean, okay, to not exaggerate, if you play this game for 3 months, how many barren planets are you going to, I guess, tolerate? I mean, tolerate's a tricky word, but I mean, it is a word I kind of want to use here. On the other side of things, you have 100 planets. I guess if you think about it in reverse, that's 100 planets with a lot going on. That's quests. That's outposts, it's maybe abandoned outposts, it's companions, it's the big cities that they've shown, like 100. See, that's a lot. So you think about 900 that don't have a lot, and maybe you get worried, but now think, again, like in scale, how many hours does this take? How many days or weeks of your life playing Starfield does it take to do 100 like the good ones, the 100 good planets? If you think about it just in that way, I could see you forgetting about or not caring about the other 900. I guess my only concern or complaint in that case would be, well, why did you do 1,000, right? And the answer would be, again, to get that immersion, to get that feel that you are in this wide galaxy and there are going to be planets nobody's ever gone to and there's nothing there. Okay, but did you need 900? You know what I mean? Did you need 900? Could you have 300? I think I mean, like you look at us in our solar system, it's like, what, 1 out of 8, or if you count Pluto, right? So it's a pretty okay percentage. Like it's a pretty realistic percentage. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know if you needed to do 1,000 planets, 900 dead, 100 alive. Maybe you do like 300 dead, 100 alive. Maybe that would have been better. But no, it is good to know. It's definitely good to know ahead of time. There's no doubting that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.